To learn more about earning college credits with Study Hall, go to gostudyhall.com or click the link in the description. We've all been there, sitting in a math class, learning how to solve for x, filling out the quadratic formula, and memorizing a theorem by some ancient Greek guy. Inevitably, someone in class raises their hand and asks the question. When are we ever going to use this in the real world? The teacher sighs, you sigh, the rest of the class sighs, because you've heard this question before and you all assume that kid is just trying to get out of calculating the area of a triangle. But maybe, just maybe, that kid is a budding physicist. They are genuinely curious about how the world works, and they can't wait to figure out all the ways to apply math outside of the classroom. Because physics is all about curiosity and asking questions. And with plenty of math involved, physics is one way to apply math to help us literally understand how our world works. Everything from the Big Bang to futuristic computers that run the world is covered by this enormous field. So if you've ever been the kid in class wanting to know more about how it all works, keep asking questions. It might serve you well in the field of physics. Hi, I'm Vanessa Hill, and welcome to Fast Guides, a study hall series that explains different college majors. In this episode, we'll be talking about physics degrees and what you can look forward to studying. Physics means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, so nailing down one single definition is tricky. But at its most basic, physics deals with studying how objects interact, ranging from the tiniest particles all the way up to massive galaxies. As you might imagine, that covers a lot of ground. And space. Outer space. Because of this, physics is divided into different branches that focus on different aspects of the world, like light, sound, heat, motion, and how particles act and interact. And because it's all about how different forces in the universe work, physics is foundational to many other scientific fields, including chemistry, astronomy, and oceanography. And who knows, if you become really famous in physics, your distinctive hair might become iconic. A sort of bland fig bar might be rumoured to have been named in your honour. Or you might win a Nobel Prize for your groundbreaking work that changes the future of medicine, which maybe we should have led with? Think about it this way. Before Isaac Newton may or may not have given his name to a dry fig snack, he was sitting under an apple tree. When an apple fell from the tree, he wondered why it fell straight down, instead of moving sideways or floating up. A few calculations later, Newton stumbled upon gravity. Did it happen exactly that way? Maybe not. But the point remains, if physics lets us use math to discover something as profound and common as gravity, what else can it solve for? That's where you, the aspiring physicist, come in. Here's how you get started. Right off the bat, you'll take a few introductory classes to get a sense of all the different flavours of physics. Here, you'll learn everything you need to know to form the foundation of your concentrated studies later on. This will probably include classes like calculus, differential equations, and introductions to topics like optics, electromagnetism, and thermodynamics. In addition, you might take a few non-physics classes like chemistry, biology, astronomy, and geology in order to build your knowledge across scientific disciplines. After that, you'll drill down even further, taking more advanced classes in subjects such as electromagnetism and thermodynamics. You'll also dive into quantum physics, or the study of matter and energy. As you learn more about your interests, you can also develop specializations that overlap with other fields. For instance, many schools offer a specialization in computational physics, which combines traditional physics with computer science. Or you might find yourself at the intersection of health sciences and physics by specializing in radiation physics. Another common field is engineering physics, which obviously combines physics and engineering and gets more into the technology involved with things like the aerospace industry or renewable energy solutions. As a result of all the overlap, physics majors tend to be well versed in multiple areas of science and math. This provides excellent perspective and problem-solving ability, as well as the skill to see complex issues from multiple angles. You may also spend a lot of time in labs, but the labs aren't always what we typically think of in, say, a chemistry lab where you're wearing safety goggles to mix mysterious substances in a beaker over a Bunsen burner. If you're in an astronomy class, your lab might involve using a massive telescope to see the stars. If you're in an optics lab, you'll be looking at how light interacts with various types of lenses. Or if you're studying nuclear and particle physics, your lab will involve measuring cosmic rays and subatomic particles. Given how vast our universe is, the opportunities for unique lab experiences, research interests, and ways to combine and apply physics topics are practically limitless. So if you love math and science and are interested in solving problems in hands-on practical ways, physics might be the major for you. You might also be interested in physics if you, like our friend from the start of this video, like to ask questions. If you're always wondering how the universe came to be or where it could be headed, then you're asking physics-based questions. Those who are naturally curious about the world and who want to find answers will also find a home in physics. And maybe you like math and science so much that it's hard to pick one single topic. You love counting neutrons and stargazing. You care about the surface of the moon as much as the bottom of the ocean. You like solving problems and discovering patterns, especially when there's a clear connection to the physical world. What you'll want is something that lets you learn about all parts of the universe. And what better place than physics, which forms the bedrock of many other areas? You'll get the chance to flex your math muscles and expose yourself to a diverse field of study. But here's the thing. In physics, we study everything. And behind the harmonies and dances of distant stars and tiny particles is a lot of math that lets us describe those patterns. So you can get ahead of this by building a good foundation. If you're thinking about studying physics, start building good study habits now, so by the time you get to your first college calculus class, you can hit the ground running. Once you're in college, take advantage of tutors or peer groups. No one likes to admit they're struggling, so it can be easy to feel like you're the only one not getting something. But chances are, you're not alone. Seeking out friends and study groups can make challenging classes and assignments easier to manage. Many schools also offer free tutoring services or math help, and most professors have office hours, so you can ask questions outside of class. As with anything, balance is key. Get outside, smell the roses, throw a frisbee with your friends. Do anything that will give you a bit of a break from a complex problem or long hours in the lab. You'll find that even a short break will let you approach the challenge with fresh eyes and hopefully a fresh perspective. And if you're struggling but still love the subject, there are plenty of alternatives. Remember, physics encompasses a wide swath of math and science, so pivoting to something like chemistry or astronomy is perfectly okay. You'll use some of the same skills as you would with physics, but you might find yourself a better fit for approaching a problem as, say, a chemist than as a physicist. Or maybe you want to find other ways to answer the questions of the universe. Physics takes a math-first approach to answering those questions. But if you want to ponder using rhetoric and logic, then you may find yourself at home in a philosophy program. If you do go all the way to becoming a physicist, the opportunities are as wide as the universe that you'll be studying. For starters, you'll have formal training in math and problem solving, which are two traits in high demand for employers. With a bachelor's degree, you'll find yourself well equipped for a position as a lab technician, software developer, or systems analyst. Or if you go the engineering route, you might find yourself as an applications, laser, or optical engineer. And talking about salaries is hard because so much can change depending on lots of factors, like where you live. But many starting salaries for physics graduates are around $50,000 to $60,000 per year. And with more training and experience, that figure can climb to the ballpark of $125,000, which reflects the often high stakes or specialized work you'll be asked to do. So you might choose to stay in school. You could combine your physics degree with an education major to become a high school science teacher, or complete a master's or PhD and become a professor. Or say there's a research project you're really interested in investigating. Pursuing an advanced degree in physics or a related field such as computer science or engineering at a research university is an excellent opportunity to gain additional training and continue pursuing your research interests. And an advanced degree will further prepare you for a career at a research institute or, say, designing airplanes and space satellites in the aerospace industry. But physics majors aren't limited to careers in science. The combination of math, data analysis, and problem solving might make you an excellent candidate for fields like finance or tech. The same problem solving skills needed to solve a complex math equation or chart out a computer simulation can also be helpful in sorting out supply chain messes. The same technical skills could come in handy in computer programming and designing the latest and greatest chip readers for banks and stores. The point is, even if you're not using math every single day in your job, the skills you gained as a physics major are still extremely transferable. There's a big world out there, and physicists are trying hard to find answers about all of it. The only way to do that? Ask questions. Be the kid in class who wants to know how all of this math really works in the world. That's what physics is all about. More than just atoms and matter, it's about being curious and using a variety of tools from math, science, engineering, and technology to learn how the world around us works. If you want to investigate more degrees before you choose a major, check out our other videos in this playlist. To find out how to earn college credit with Study Hall, go to gostudyhall.com or click on the link here or in the description. And if you want to help us out, give this video a like and comment to let us know how you chose your degree or what you wish you'd known before you started your degree. Thanks for watching.